Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class 9. Now today we are going to study unit number 2, and that is the topic is patriotism. Now what is patriotism? As most of you will be familiar with this word, it means love for your country. Your devotion to one's country is known as patriotism. Now chapter is very important because all of us are very patriotic and this patriotic spirit comes out when we on especially on 14th of August and on 23rd March, when we listen to the beautiful national anthem and the national songs that are being played all the time or throughout the day. We feel this patriotic spirit in us as well. So let's start with the lesson. Okay, now here we are with the first on the first page, and I have tried to make the paper take a clear photograph picture of the page so that it is quite clear to you that what we are going to study. As you can see, I have highlighted certain words, and these words are important in the sense that it can come in multiple choice question. You can also get the inverted commas portion that hey, we must develop a sense of patriotism. It can come in your punctuation mark question for 3 marks. So that's why I have highlighted these 2 or 3 points over here. Now we are going to start with the first paragraph, and the first paragraph is patriotism means love for the motherland or devotion to one's country. Now what does it mean? It means your love for your country, okay, and how you are devoted to your country. One's country means it once indicate over here, it's an indefinite pronoun, you can say. It means basically it can be anybody. One refer to everyone, not just one singular person, but every one of us are patriotic. Every one of us want our country to be successful and prosperous. Okay, so patriotism means love for the motherland or devotion to one's country. A patriot loves his country and is willing to sacrifice his when the need arises. Whenever the need arises, you must have seen just like in wars in 1965, in 1970, and you must have read it in history, because most of you, well, all of you weren't born at that time, so automatically you must have read it in history that at that time when in 1965 what happened, that when India attacked Pakistan, all the even the citizens of Pakistan, they came out and they wanted to fight with the along with the army of Pakistan. Because why? Because they wanted to save their country, and this is very important. This was basically possible because of their patriotic spirit. So this is the very important point over here as well. Okay, when the need arises, you are willing to sacrifice your self for it. The word patriot comes from the Latin word patriota. Now the word patriota can come in correction of spellings as well, because you can get this word indicate the correct spelling, or it can also come in a multiple choice question in such a way that it's a Latin word, is a Greek word, what's different sort of आपको language बताए गए हों कि ये यहाँ से लिया गया है. ठीक है, so mostly these words are taken from Latin language. Now, which means countryman. Now what is the meaning of patriota? It means countryman. It is considered a commendable quality. ठीक है, it's a commendable means an admirable quality. Now come to the next paragraph. Patriotism gives people the strength and the courage to safeguard the interests of the country and nation. So this spirit is basically the most important thing that gives you courage. And safeguard means to protect. What is the meaning of safeguard? To protect the interest. Now interest over here is whatever is best for your country. Patriotism, this spirit helps you to safeguard that, to protect that. For a patriot, the sovereignty, integrity, and honor of the country are the supreme values on which no compromise can be made. Patriots render sacrifices for the preservation and the protection of these values. Now, this is very important point. I have underlined it, that for a patriot, sovereignty, integrity, and honor, these things are very important. Sovereignty means supreme authority, integrity means unity, and honor means respect of the country. So these are the 3 things that are very important for them. and they are willing to protect it or preserve it. So ठीक है, तो it's very important for them that these values should be preserved and protected. Now Qaid-e-Azam excuse me, Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah was a nation builder and a great patriot. Now nation builder, a person who built the nation. He is the one, you can say the chosen one who has been given this task to make Pakistan, and he had fulfilled his duty properly. Now he was a true patriot, and that's why through his intellect and his patriotic spirit, we are now sitting in Pakistan. So the credit goes to him and his efforts. He wanted to protect the values, culture and traditions of the subcontinent. Now subcontinent, the people of subcontinent were the people living in India and Pakistan. When it was not divided before this division or partition of India and Pakistan and Bangladesh, this area was known as subcontinent, or Urdu mein you can call it Bar-e-Saghir. He gave the Muslims a sense of identity by securing the separate homeland for them. So they gave him a separate identity. Now we call ourselves what? We call ourselves Pakistanis. Now this is our identity. Wherever we go, we will say that I am a Pakistani. Okay, so this identity was given to us by him. And one more thing, patriotism, once this 2 to 3 years back, there was a paragraph to be written in annual exams. In the board exam, they gave the topic patriotism to be as a paragraph. So it's very important that you should know each and everything, the important points. The first 2 paragraphs are very important regarding the if you want to write a paragraph about patriotism. Okay, so these points are very important. Okay, now he wanted to protect, we have done that. Okay, what he said, we must develop a sense of patriotism which galvanizes us all into one united and strong nation. ठीक है, galvanizes means stimulates, हमें stimulate करते हैं, हमें जगाते हैं, हमें मतलब उकसाते हैं कि हम जो है एक strong nation के तौर पे काम करें. Okay, the next paragraph, the spirit of patriotism makes us alert in the wake of foreign invasion. In the history of Pakistan, there are many instances when people laid their lives for the defense of the country. So when you look at the history, I told you before, 1965 war, 1971 war, the people sacrificed their lives. For what? Because they wanted their children to be safe, free and happy in the country. So for that reason, most of the people sacrifice their lives. And as well that you're familiar with the names as Major Aziz Bhatti, Rashid Minhas, Captain Muhammad Sarwar. All these personalities are the personalities who sacrificed their lives and embraced martyrdom. Martyrdom means shahadat. Okay, so death of a martyr को martyrdom कहा जाता है, shahadat. So all these people sacrificed their lives for the country. Okay, now many brave soldiers gave their lives in the attempt to protect the homeland. Now Captain Muhammad Sarwar Shaheed, these are the names of different soldiers and the soldiers of army soldiers who embraced martyrdom while fighting bravely for the motherland. Now I'll come down. All of them were awarded Nishan-e-Haider. Now if somebody asks you what is Nishan-e-Haider, you should know that it is the highest military award. ये बहुत important point है कि Nishan-e-Haider क्या है. That is the highest military award. Military means जो army वाले देते हैं, and they award their shuhada, specifically those who were very brave, this Nishan-e-Haider. The highest military award given to the great patriots who laid their lives down their lives for the country. Now we have one more thing that I want to tell you. Hold on. Okay, girls, I want to point out to a name, Captain Colonel Sher Khan. This person was basically, if you look at the name, first thought comes to you that this person may be a colonel, okay, a rank of a colonel. He was actually he was a captain at that time when he was given when he embraced martyrdom. He was a captain, but his name was Captain Colonel Sher Khan. Now the very important story behind this is that his father was so inspired by the army that he, when this child was born, he had given him the name, and that was so as I was telling you, okay, when he was born, जब ये कैप्टन कर्नल शेर खान पैदा हुए तो उस वक्त इनके फादर ने इनका नाम कर्नल शेर खान रखा. Now just imagine, why did he given him the name Colonel Sher Khan? Why? Because he wanted his son to be a colonel in the army. So when he became captain, he was appointed in Kargil, I think, and then over there he was very brave. He had killed so many Indian soldiers over there, and for that reason he just jumped into them and he started the fire and he killed most of the people, the army, Indian army soldiers over there, and for that reason he is also awarded Nishan-e-Haider, and this is his story. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed his story. Okay, now here we are to at the end of our chapter. Here I'm going to say in the last paragraph, patriotism therefore is not just a feeling, it's a live spirit, and that continuously inspires and guides a nation. In the words of S.W. Scott, now who is this person? S.W. Scott. Maybe you get these wordings and say कि multiple choice question में आए कि ये किसने लिखे हैं, उस different तरीके से नाम हो तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि ये किसने लिखा है. ये अल्फाज हैं S.W. Scott का. अच्छा, पेपर में भी हो सकता है कि W.S. Scott है या S.W. Scott है, तो आपको फेमिलियरिटी होनी चाहिए कि ये S.W. है, WS नहीं है. यहाँ पे confusion अगर आप करोगे तो definitely you are gonna lose marks for that. Now the lines that he has written, इसको मैं आपको explain कर देती हूँ. Breathes there the man with soul so dead, who never to himself hath said, this is my own, my native land. Now hath, H-A-T-H means it means has, basically. Yeah, hath is basically the old English over here. They have used old English because S.W. Scott, when he was writing, he was using the old English language, and at that time they used to use the word hath for has. So he is referring to a person who does not have a patriotic spirit in him. He is basically a man with a dead soul, जिसकी रूह मर चुकी हो. ऐसा बंदा हो जिसका रूह मर चुकी हो, ज़मीर मर चुका हो. ऐसा he is just a dead person who is just breathing. Now he is such a person who is not a patriotic, is a person who is just who is breathing, but he is just like a dead soul. Okay, who never to himself had said that he would never have said to himself that this is my land and my native land. Native land is the land where you are born, that is where that is your birthplace. So that is he's referring to कि he would a person without patriotism must have never said this thing कि this is my land and I should work for it. Okay, with this we end this chapter and the chapter is finished. Now look at the theme. The essay is about the spirit of patriotism. It talks about the qualities of a patriot and how patriots looks after the interests and progress of their country. So here we are with the end of the chapter. The theme is also very important, so please also try to learn the themes because it can also come in the paper. Okay, class, moving further to the next exercise. You have question answer that I'm going to share it with you. So just we are going to move to the next page now. Here we are with the vocabulary, and we also have used the following words in sentences. I have put a tick mark. Why? Because this you are supposed to do it yourself, do it on the book, guess the meaning, and then try to find the dictionary meaning of the above exercise. And below they've said that you're supposed to use these words in sentences as well. So one more important thing is, you can see below that I have tick marked and I have said that you can do what can come in correction of spellings as well. So here we are. This can come in correction of spelling. These words can come. The above one, this one, any word can come in, and they can say, okay, write the meaning. They can say in the exams whether it's write the correct spellings or choose the correct spellings. So it's very important that you should know the spellings of all the words. You should also know the meanings and sentences. So here you are supposed to do what? You are supposed to make sentences of these words, and you should also find their मीनिंग्स ओके बिकॉज दिस पेन इज़ टू बिग सो मीनिंग भी आप लोगों ने इसके लिखने हैं अपनी कॉपी के ऊपर वाला काम आप बुक पे करें, निचला वाला आप उसके कॉपी पे करके उसके सेंटेंसेस भी आप बनाइए. इज़ इट क्लियर टू यू? Moving on, now we are going to move on to modal verbs. First of all, I wanted to tell you what is a modal verb. A modal verb is an auxiliary verb that expresses necessity or possibility. So it's basically what? It's an auxiliary verb. You must have heard the word auxiliary. Auxiliary verb means helping verbs. Okay, so it is that expresses necessity or possibility, something which is possible, or it shows that thing. English modal verbs include must, shall, will, should, would, can, could, may and might. Now important thing to note about the modal verbs is just like the other main verbs, you have a main verb, for example shout, the second form shouted, the third form shouted, the fourth form shouting. So you have 4 forms of the verb, but here in the modal verbs you have just this one verb form. You cannot change it into all the 4 forms. So this is the main difference between the main verbs and the modal verbs. So here we are with the modal verbs over here, and what are modal verbs? I told you before, these are auxiliary verbs and they show possibility, and also if you look down over here they show permission, ability, duty or obligation or moral obligation. Now permission for permission you are going to use may I ask you a few questions. Ability means you can do something, it means ability, can you swim. Then we have a duty and obligation. Obligation means something which is very compulsory and you're supposed to do it. Duty means again same, when it's duty time you can't just run away from it, you have to do it. So moral obligation means something which is morally important and you should do it. Now we follow some moral obligations, we all follow some moral obligations, and excuse me. So here we have a moral obligations. Now the 4 types, these are the 4 types. If you look further on the top, there is possibility, ability, certainty. Now what are the words that you are used for possibility? Can, could, may, might, would. You can just go through the table yourself as well so that you can understand it. Okay. Here we are with now on the next page they say that you are supposed to use appropriate modals to the following. Describe your 3 abilities and capabilities. Now these are, you're supposed to do it. I'll just give you a small hint, because if something you have the ability to do or you are capable, for example I can cook delicious food. Okay, you can say I can run. These are the things, I can run easily, I can climb the tree easily. So these are the things that you can do. So this is your capability or abilities. Okay, if you are ask teachers permission for going out, what are you going to say? May I go out to drink water? You can like this ask like this. So here you are asking basically a permission from your teacher. Then we have the next one. Hold on. Then we have ask a friend to lend you a camera. So what are you going to say? Can you lend me a camera? Okay. Express necessity, and this one, express necessity to get up early. Now for necessity, it's important that you are supposed to use the words like you must, or you need to get up early in the morning, you ought to get up early in the morning, you must get up early in the morning. Then express duty and obligation to follow the traffic rules. For this, what are you going to write? You can say that you should follow the traffic rules, or you ought to follow the traffic rules. Share some past habits. Now for the past habits, what are you going to use? You are going to use the word used to. I used to be very naughty. and in my childhood. Now used to, when something that you're doing at the in the past, the word that you're supposed to use, the modal verb, that will be used to. Now comes your next question, and that is your types or kinds of sentences. Now let's see what we have here. So here we are with different types of sentences. First I wanted to tell you what are the different types of sentences, and after that we are gonna go further. So what are the four types of sentences? We have declarative, imperative, interrogative, and exclamatory. Now declarative sentence, this one, the first one, I want to tell you कि इसको declarative के अलावा you can call it, here we are, 1 minute. You can call a declarative sentence a statement. Okay, you can call declarative sentence a statement sentence. You can also call it assertive sentence. You can also call it affirmative sentence. These are the different types of names that you can give to it. Okay, how are you gonna, because there are so many names for this one sentence. इसको बहुत याद रखिएगा कि आप इसको declarative sentence को assertive, affirmative and statement sentence कह सकते हैं, और अब हम आगे वज़ीद करेंगे कि इसको क्यों ये कहा जाता है, ठीक है. Then the other type is imperative sentence. Imperative sentences are sentences which have command, or either you make a request or you give an order. So this is what they are known as imperative sentences. Then we have interrogative, any questioning sentences, and then we have the exclamatory sentences, in which you use an exclamation mark. So that is exclamatory sentence. Okay. Now here we are with the declarative sentence, and let's see. So what is a declarative sentence? A declarative sentence simply makes a statement or expresses an opinion. In other words, it makes a declaration. Declaration का मतलब होता है कि declare की जाती है, एक बात बताई जाती है. This kind of sentences ends up in with a period. Period का मतलब होता है full stop. Example of such sentences is I want to be a good writer. Okay, make a statement. My friend is really good writer. So expression or an opinion, but simple. There's no negativity in it, no questioning in it, no order in it, no request in it. It's just a simple statement, and for that one, and that's the reason we call it affirmative, assertive, declarative, and statement sentence. Okay, I hope you understand. Moving on to the next type of sentence, that is, what is an imperative sentence? The imperative sentence gives a command or makes a request. It usually ends up in a period, but can, under certain circumstances, end up in an exclamation point. Examples of please sit down, I need you to sit down now. So basically imperative sentence जो होते हैं, इसके बारे में बहुत ही important चीज़ है. Why? Because आपको आगे भी में एक्टिव पैसिव में भी आपको करने हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई यू शुड नो कि व्हाट आर इंपेरेटिव सेंटेंसेस. इन इंपेरेटिव सेंटेंसेस आइदर यू गिव एन ऑर्डर or you request something. So that's why it is known as imperative sentences, and the examples are given below. Here we are with the interrogative sentence. Everybody is familiar with this type of sentences because it's a questioning sentence, and starting with the who, what, when, where, such words. The examples are when are you going to turn in your writing assignment, or do you know what the weather will be like. So these are the questioning sentences, and ending with question mark. Here we are with now the exclamatory sentences. And what are exclamatory sentences? An exclamatory sentence is a sentence that expresses great emotions such as excitement, surprise, happiness. Now the such sudden emotions that you express through it are identified through exclamatory sentences. For example, it is too dangerous to climb that mountain, and exclamation mark in the end. I got an A on my notebook, on my book report. So exclamation marks on such sentences indicates that these are exclamatory sentences having a lot of emotion and great emotional expressions. That is known as exclamatory sentences. Okay, now moving out to our exercise now. We have identified the kinds of following sentences. For example, exclamatory, assertive. Now they have used assertive word over here. Now it indicates कि अब आपको कहेंगे कि assertive कहाँ से आया, तो मैंने आपको बताया कि declarative को assertive भी कहा जाता है. Now let's see what are the answer. Art is another subject in which I am particularly interested. So this one is assertive sentences. Okay, assertive. The next one is, what a beautiful painting. Now, what do you think it is? It's exclamatory sentence, okay? Then we have teach him to learn. Now, this is automatically, you should know, okay, it's giving an order. So this one is imperative sentence, okay? And the next one is, how would I know? Now, this is obviously what? They are asking a question. So, it's interrogative, okay? And the last one is, she did not make a false statement. Now what is this sentence? Now they have also indicated कि negative को भी करें तो यहाँ पे not आया है automatically. This is a negative sentence, okay? Now come down to punctuation. Do it yourself. Take it from the book. आपको पता है कि punctuation का 3 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन आता है. इसको करें, खुद से करें और इसको जो है बुक के ऊपर ही करें और कहीं पे करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. ये वाली एक्सरसाइज भी बुक पे हो जाएगी, ये भी बुक पे और ये भी बुक पे कर लें. इसको कॉपी के ऊपर उतारने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. जो मैंने पहले कहा था वो उतारने की ज़रूरत है. ओके. Okay, now last but not the least, here we are with the final page. And okay, now this is the last page that we are having over here. And what are we going to do? I have marked the certain points. Now you are supposed to which steps should be we take to make our nation patriotic. For this, what are you supposed to do? You have to do this question number C, D and E. Now in D you are going to write a paragraph, not an essay, and it should be 70 to 80 words. And the last one is the dialogue that you are going to write. I have highlighted it because this dialogue came in this recent papers that was cancelled. उसमें ये वाला dialogue आया था, तो आपने इसको भी करना है. तो ये 3 चीज़ें आप लोगों ने अपनी कॉपीज़ के ऊपर उतारनी हैं. Exercise C, D and E. This is your homework. Okay. So that is all, and I'm done. I hope that you have understand the second chapter. I just wanted to finish it on time, and I hope you understand it. इसको अच्छे तरीके से देखिएगा, और if you don't understand anything you can ask me. Okay जी, Allah Hafiz from my side.